spell.
Oh yeah, he wants advice on what to
It's either
choose
that or
next.
shield. So
I mean, shield's useful, but I've had it for 3 levels and it hasn't worked yet. So
it hasn't worked yet? You've
no.
definitely used it at least once.
I think maybe it's worked once. Generally
Yeah.
speaking, when I get hit, it's like I rolled a 25, and I'm like, well, shield wouldn't make
Yeah.
that work any less.
So the way that I'm trying to think of my character now is both area of effect and like battlefield control. I'm trying to be a little bit less just blast and a
Mhm.
little bit more battlefield control with some AoE thrown in. Part of why I like Chain Lightning is I don't have to worry about hitting you folks.
Yeah,
That's considerate of you,
yeah,
Ezra.
I appreciate that. I mean, I can protect myself, but
You keep
let's
saying
see.
that.
Well, I have absorb elements, so I can cast a reaction spell that would help me negate some of the damage. So what spell level slot is this? 6th?
Yes, Chain Lightning is 6th, so it's kind of between that or Disintegrate or Circle of Death.
All exciting titles, exciting possibilities.
Let's see. If you are you looking for like Swiss Army knife type spells, or you?
I feel pretty good. I mean, but let's see. Let's go over the Swiss Army ones that I have. I have Prestidigitation and Shape Water as cantrips. Um, you could maybe argue that like Tasha's Mind Whip has multiple uses, so that could almost count for that. And Misty Step, I don't know if invisibility. And then at 4th level, I have Polymorph, which of course has a variety of uses. Um, and then at 5th level, Bigby's Hand, which has a couple of different uses.
Who
But
doesn't
yeah,
love Big B in his giant hand? Everybody loves Big B.
gave
Where
him a big
So
hand.
I mean, so you do get access to one of the best single target damage spells in the game, which is
Disintegrate.
Disintegrate.
Yeah,
It's also really so Disintegrate also has other subtle uses because you can use it against structures.
that's true.
Um,
But it's a really high level spell to do that with.
it is. Let's see what else is there. So you've got so Globe of Invulnerability is a pretty niche spell.
you gonna turn your camera on, Galdus?
I suppose.
He's feeling shy.
So yeah, Globe of Invulnerability is a niche spell, but it's a really good spell if we're going to face casters, because it would protect the entire party from casters, and if you're in the Globe of Invulnerability, you can't be counterspelled, because they have to counterspell the Globe of Invulnerability first, and then they have to guess what spell level you cast it at.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
because counter spells don't work because even if you upcast a spell because it's a lower level spell, it doesn't get through the globe.
Yep.
But I mean, how long does globe invulnerability last?
I'd have to look that up.
All right. So Jana texted me. She's late. Everyone else, no Owen tonight. No Zerwin tonight. But I will consider 4 to be a quorum here. We should. Oh, we are. We do have a Zerwin. Wow, look at that. Color me surprised. I'm going to. Well, why don't you guys come up with a recap? What happened last time? Because a lot happened last time that is potentially game changing. Literally game changing.
We beat the nightmare.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Fuck,
done.
fuck those guys.
Linda lost.
Linda lost. Yeah, you had a big epic battle with the puppet creature, formerly known as Linda, the evil witch in her final form. And then you went to save as many people as you could, right?
Yeah,
How did that go?
no issues.
Real good.
Uh, I don't know.
Can we talk about Sappy socking it to the puppet? That was helpful.
Yeah, you all got hit with a blast of psychic damage. Four of you went down, and Soppy came with a backstab. The old Soppy backstab. Ugh. Then what? Where did we leave off?
We're inside the building. Okay, all right. You really want us to go through the whole thing? You
Amaros
really?
got bitch slapped by the Guardian.
Yeah, that was fun. Did like that.
After Gelidus and Owen told him what's up.
Mm-hmm.
We had some divine intervention. That was nice. Took them long enough. Yeah, so we fought the puppet. The puppet was very tough, but we did prevail. Sapi got in there with a flaming sword that ended up being pretty crucial. Ezra got the killing blow for once with a critical hit on a cantrip. That felt pretty good, and I just really want to make sure everyone's aware of that and is reminded. Then we split up. Zerwin, Jana, Owen, and Gelidus all went to getting a head shaking.
Jana went with you guys.
You're right, Jana went with us. We split up 3 and 3. So everybody except Jana that I just mentioned, which is Oa, Gelidus, and Dirk, went. No, and Zerwin rather went to try to make sure everybody was actually in the barracks. And Ezra, Dirk, and Jana went to gather up the people at Magni. When we arrived, we found a creepy girl who was actually kind of like those vampires in Blade 2 with like the split open maw and the big flappy tongue.
Oh, I didn't see Blade 2. Should I?
It's Guillermo del Toro. When I saw it in high school, I thought it was bad, but I was in high school, and my
Blade
taste
3's
is
a bit better.
barely better now. And also the father priest was a baddie also. So Jana put them down real quick. That's where one of the divine interventions came in. And Yandala healed us up, and we gathered all those people and started to get them back toward the actual Castle Magnus, because Castle Magnus is Sapi and Vinith's, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and meanwhile, yeah, Gelidus, Owen, and Zerwin were stopped by Armoros, but then the giant hand of the avatar of Stone Man reached through and crushed him and pinned him to the floor. There was a divine intervention again, this time from Queen Titania, who opened a portal so that our Zerwin, Owen, and Gelidus could get back to Castle Magnus. We got everybody into the barracks, tried to get everyone to chill out and calm down. Meanwhile, Vinith waited around for 2 hours, just sitting around in a labyrinth filled with really scary monsters,
Yeah, doing absolutely nothing, probably.
probably. And then he set off the altar, which cleared the nightmare away, and that's we really didn't do anything else. We ended pretty abruptly at that point.
We did save Mungrin and Booker in the library, and you guys saved
Right.
Fly. Was
Yeah.
the main NPC, and what's his name? The shithead Dragonborn,
Vicken.
Vicken.
Yeah. If you recall correctly, there was like a blinding flash of light, and time sort of slowed, and then stopped, and then there was all sorts of weird happenings, and then everything came back to reality, and it was real quiet. And we left off right there on the recurrence of reality, as everyone's crammed into these literally like sardines in a can, packed elbow to elbow, so you could fit 1,500 people in these barracks, or close to it. I think it's 1,350 people in these barracks. And then everything returns, but it was really quiet. Outside, you can see through the windows, it's not dark anymore. When the nightmare was here, even in the daytime, it was like an overcast, stormy, cloudy day. The sun is shining. There's a slight breeze. You think you hear a bird, maybe.
Ezra's gonna start to make his way over to the castle to retrieve the box from Venice's room.
Okay, so first you're gonna open the door to the barracks and walk outside.
Yeah, why not? I'll go out a
Outside,
window. That way, we don't have to worry about anything coming in through the door. Because
uh,
windows, nothing can get in through a window. Certainly not like a cat or a coyote.
a coyote? That's
All
your
right,
go-to for windows? Coyotes?
we open doors.
Um, Outside, the first thing you notice is that it is indeed sunny again, and everything seems to have returned to normal in some way. You can only see the interior from the curtain wall and the keep and the Adventurers Guild and the um, barracks. Something looks different about Fort Magnus, but you can't quite pick up what it is. People start slowly wandering out into the general courtyard area, and just eyes wide, you know, and then more and more people, because nobody wants to be crammed in there anymore, and people start jumping out through the windows, and it starts getting the first person starts laughing, and then someone cheers, and then someone starts crying, and then all of a sudden and all at once, a spontaneous massive celebration just breaks out, as everyone just starts hugging each other and dancing and crying and laughing, and someone says, open the gates, open the gates. And so some guards run over to the gates, and they throw the gates open, and then it goes real quiet again, because the town that was outside is very different. All of the stone structures remain, but all of everything that was wood is gone. Everything. There's no windows. There's no doors. There's no porches. There's no roofs on some things. There's no trees. There's no plants. It's just, as far as you can see, white sand and stone buildings. The white sand is new, obviously. You still want to head into Fort Magnus?
Yes. Yeah.
Who's going with him? Everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Fort Magnus, will you open the doors, which are made of that crazy stone stuff, and they swing effortlessly outward, and you go into what used to be the main hall, and now there is nothing inside. There's no bodies, there's no beds, there's no tapestries, there's no carpets. Everything has been scoured to the stone, and the stone looks like shiny and bright and new. But the structure remains.
Ezra will make his way up to the quarters and try the handle on the door to Vinith and Sapi's chamber.
Okay. Assuming everyone goes with him. Um, there's no door on the bedroom because it was wooden. It was studded wood. Inside, there is nothing in that room except one chest made of that stone sitting in the middle of the room.
To the chest.
The chest is, I don't know, foot locker size. It's pretty large. And there is a very clear lock on it. And this thing also radiates magic. It is immaculately carved, and the stonework is phenomenal. It looks almost like it was made from one piece of stone that was like beautifully carved to fit perfectly together. The lid is like curved, and there are all these beautiful designs on the outside that have all been hand carved.
Jana, do you mind checking to see if this is gonna blow up when we open it? You know, just to be extra careful.
Sure.
Do I hear someone playing instruments in the background?
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I heard was that a melodica?
Violin. So I rolled an 11.
Okay.
That's good. That's good
Um,
enough. I feel confident. Ezra opens. Does anyone want to stand back? Ezra opens the chest.
He didn't tell us if we knew it was trapped or not.
Just figured we wouldn't get a real answer with an 11.
Don't metagame too hard. All right, listen, Jana, you're not sure if there's traps in this thing or not. Ezra, how are you going to open it? It's locked. It's got a lock on it.
I take a look at the ring that Vinith gave.
Yeah. There is, instead of having a keyhole, the thing has a weirdly shaped like thing on the lock, and that ring inserts directly into it. And then you turn it, and smoothly it pops open. Inside, there are mostly papers, actually. Books and
Business
papers.
papers.
Business papers. What do you do, sir? I'm unemployed. There's a note on the top, though, and it's addressed to the spicy oranges.
Let's take a look at that bad boy.
Castle, it's in Venice handwriting. It says as follows: Ezra, Zerwin, Gelidus, Janna, Owen, Dirk. Castle Magnus, or whatever you choose to name it in the future, you know now is the key to the long-term health and survival of the place where the planes meet, as well as the people who live there. This property and the responsibilities that go along with it are passed from generation to generation, not as rulers, but as guardians. There are no kings here, no queens. Magnus and Drunel Hall have stewards, protectors, saviors. And you are those saviors. The people here will rely on you, as will the Empire, the Fey Kingdoms, and the Wild. I have left you, Fort Magnus, a little bit of money and some books and stuff that might help you in the future. The rest is in your hands.
He wrote books and stuff in the letter.
He did. I'm sorry I failed to convince you of Linda's treachery. I've never been a real people person. I did my best, and if you're reading this, at least one of us made it through. As for Sapi, tell him I love him, and tell him I've always known. The body he inhabits now was killed a few hours before he possessed it. This was recounted to me by the quarry foreman, who happened to be my little brother. Somehow, a miraculous reanimation happened. I knew he was a spy, and I never planned on falling in love with him, but here we are. If you're reading this, then I'm dead, and I probably didn't tell him. Tell him I couldn't have done any of this without him. And please take care of him as best you can. He's a good soul somehow, even having been to hell. I leave the rest to you in your capable hands. This document is binding, as are the magics that will happen when you sign below. And there are spaces for you to sign, indicating that you are the new owners of Castle Magnus.
Why?
By what?
Oh, the castle.
Listen, we're gonna make sure that they put on some better plays in that theater. Uh, Ezra puts the paper back on top of all of the things in the chest and kind of walks over. There's no windows in this room, are there?
There are no windows in this room.
But there is a rather flamboyant painting of. Oh no, it's all gone. We don't even get the painting of Sapi, huh? Nobody even heard about that.
You're going to take that one to your grave, Ezra.
Are there windows like out in the hallway?
Yes.
So Ezra will walk out to the hallway and kind of stand at one of the windows and look out over the city and just kind of think about things for a few minutes.
Inside, there is a quill, pen, and a stopped up bottle of ink. It's clearly meant for you to sign this document.
Well, before we sign anything, we should go make sure that he didn't make it out.
Okay.
So Ezra will come back into the room and say, "We need to go see if Vinith made it to the safe area under the city."
I don't
Probably bring that.
really sign things, so cool.
Should probably bring that note with us, or at least lock it back up.
Either or. Do you have a preference?
Nope.
Shannon wants to bring it with us. All right. So I guess we're gonna climb back down a well into the sewers again.
If the well is still there.
When you come back out to the courtyard, people are. There is you can tell there's a lot of mixed emotions. It looks like people have lost everything. There's also no livestock. Anything that wasn't, there's like a couple of chickens and cats and dogs. Any living thing that wasn't in that barracks is gone, as well as most of the organic matter which is why there's no wood anywhere.
Does it look like a desert plain? Like how far can we see?
And you haven't gone up to the top of the Adventurers Guild to look yet, so you can't really see over the walls of the castle. The curtain walls are as high as Fort Magnus is.
I think we might as well go up to the top of the tower, the Adventurers Guild rather, and take a look over the city first because people are going to want to disperse pretty quickly, I would think.
Because we don't know how big this blast area is. Like, is Chuckles' house is gone?
I hope not, but we don't know.
Okay, so you want to climb to the top of the wall?
Sure, that works. That's lower than the Adventurers Guild, so yeah, I would prefer that. Fewer stairs.
Getting to the top of the wall, especially when you get to the corner, which is like near the Adventurers Guild, you can see almost 360 degrees. The Adventure Guild blocks one angle, and it looks like, if you had to guess, you'd say maybe a half a mile radius, which means also all of the fields with all of the crops are gone. All of the grass and all of the trees are gone. All of the outbuildings. Oh, and Alias is gone. It's a big pile of rubble. That's the other castle. The curtain walls have collapsed.
All right. Well, I know where we can go to possibly get some really fancy wine and cheese. My hope would be that the magical stone under the city may be protected. Gung's stores. But we gotta find a way to feed some people pretty quick. Real quiet out there in Dungeons and Dragons land.
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
All right, Ezra. Yeah, I think Ezra will try to take charge here. So, I think maybe we split up because it's always fun when we do that.
I
I
hate
think
you.
yeah. All right,
So
let's. Yeah, go ahead.
can we see how? So when we're looking at Owlbear, how how far is the destruction? Can you draw
The
a line?
entire map.
The entire square map
Yes.
is. All right. So no more Chuckles' house.
It's right. Chuckles' house is literally right on the edge, so there are hills, or like the beginnings of hills out there, so you can't see exactly where Chuckles' house would be. So maybe question mark. But if you notice, if you look at this map, you'll notice that most of the buildings are stone, which is one of the things that has like saved them. Those,
How do you tell the difference?
if they are gray, they are stone. All those tent areas, the markets are gone, and some of the buildings had wooden porches or outbuildings or roofs. Those are all gone, but the vast majority of the buildings are here.
Can we find Ak?
You can look for Ak.
Ezra runs through the streets screaming, Ak!
I mean, he's not. I mean, where do you want? You could well, the streets right now are the stone is the streets that paves the streets, but there is a thin layer of like whitish sand that is kind of blowing. It's not like a big sand dune. It looks like maybe the very teeniest top layer of everything that was alive got nuked and just turned to that sand and is now blowing away.
Yeah, I was being facetious. I would check the barracks and check the Adventurers Guild and see if we can find Ock within the curtain walls.
With a few minutes of asking around, you can find Ock. How can I help?
All right, how you holding up?
Oh, just fine.
So
I'm feeling significantly poorer than I was a couple of days ago.
yeah, and I have bad news on that front too. You might be even a little bit poorer in a little bit here. Uh, so it appears that basically any kind of organic store, so foodstuffs that was above ground is long gone. All of the crops outside the city walls, uh, anything that was stored inside the city walls, it seems like it's gone. My thought is the items that you might have had in storage, the food-based items that you might have had in storage underneath the city might still be intact. Uh, I would ask that maybe you and your people try to retrieve that because we're going to need to be able to feed people short term.
Are you telling me that I have a monopoly on food?
No, you're the
That's what it
first person
sounds
I'm
like.
talking to.
That's what it sounds like to me.
You are the first person I'm talking to. We have other places to get food, and
I look forward to seeing my competition.
yeah, all right. Anyway, if you could work on retrieving that, and then we'll kind of triage our supplies over the course of the next few hours. All of your stuff might be gone too, so you might not have a monopoly. There might be a zeropoly of things, but we'll find out.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it either, given that we have to feed and water people. But
Hmm.
anyway,
There is
uh,
a well. No, there
go
are
on.
several wells actually.
Yeah, so water we can probably, and that's not organic, so the water probably didn't. If anything, maybe it purified the water of, uh, anything that taints water. We live in a world where we probably don't know about microorganisms, but
What?
um, sorry, I sneezed. Um, oh, the Dragonborn, the rich Dragonborn,
Vicken.
Vicken. See you around?
You
I'm not
don't.
asking. God, I'm not asking Ak. I'm asking you, the game master.
I mean, he's around somewhere? Question mark.
He would be the next person I would want to find.
Hmm. Okay. Um. You can't seem to locate him as easily as you find Ak.
Well, he was injured and complaining a lot about it, so he might just be kind of laying low. If we can't find him, that's okay.
You don't find him in a few minutes of looking.
Um, uh, the name of the guard, the head of the guard from the group that we rescued, was his name Barm or Berm?
A Barm.
Barm. Is Barm around?
Um. Yeah, Barm's around. I mean,
And then,
Barm works for Ak.
okay, Alvinia, Sklogda.
You do see Alvinus and Glocta. They're immediately trying to basically organize people. There's still people who are injured, right? There are still people who are, missing people. There's, they're putting up a board of like who's missing and who's not. Can I find these people? And they're trying to take care of the wounded. The good
Um,
the good news is like it seems like the thing that went off released a ton of magic, and everybody who was really badly wounded before does seem to have recovered a little bit.
That's good. Talking to Alvinius and Glocta, the things I am thinking about are one, trying to get runners up to Chuckles' house because he may have some food or supplies that he might be able to provide for the needy people of Journal Hall if he's alive and up there. Basically whatever he has might be far enough outside of the city to still be intact. The other thing is if we can send messengers uh to our friend the Emperor to be
Skip.
Skip. Yep. If we could send messengers to Skip, letting him know about the positives and the negatives of our predicament. There might be a legion nearby that might have some supplies. And then we can go check on Vinith. Am I forgetting anything else that we need to do?
So you want to send someone to scout Skip's place? Or not Skip's place,
Chuckles.
Chuckles' place? Yeah, the problem
Yeah.
is there might not be anybody who knows where that is. Chuckles did not advertise his space.
Okay, we can go.
They will. You can definitely send a runner west to look for the Legion. That shouldn't be too hard if you want to do that.
Yeah, that sounds great.
What about the guy who's, was it his sister or his mom who was killed in her sleep? We snuck her body out. I can't remember his name.
The elf.
Veridith.
Oh,
The Fey creatures,
I mean,
right?
this town's probably going to need a little help from the Fae, and we're not
Well,
that far away.
I mean they're at war with this country right now. Or
They can,
war is being made upon them by this country right now.
yeah. Okay. I'm just wondering if they have any magic that could help jumpstart some food growing.
Maybe.
But yeah, they may not want to do it right now.
Yeah.
You
Maybe
know who we
let's
should
go.
talk to? No, you know who we should talk to is Fly. This
Cool.
guy runs the kitchen. He might know how to, he might know how to ration and make things with almost nothing. Make edible
Yeah.
food. We
Mhm.
should probably, based on what you said, he was handling himself pretty well, managing the people during the fight. So we definitely ought to employ his skill set.
I'll tell you what. The other place that we can try to send a runner, someone who doesn't work for Ock, the Bard's Cobbler, and in particular maybe the basement of the Bard's Cobbler. They might have stores that are deep enough underground that maybe they are intact. We could have Fly do that, maybe.
If that's the question, we can maybe. Oh, never mind. We probably don't know where the maps are anymore.
They would have
Well,
been destroyed anyway, likely, right?
I was just thinking we could look on the map to see if there were other places that had sort of places that might be storage in the old stone underneath. But not sure it's worth it. We could send a runner, someone who knows.
like how about we go to the Bard's Cobbler because that's on our way. If we're gonna go to Chuckles's, that's on kind of it's not really out of the way on the way outside the city. We might as well. Let's get a change of scenery. It would do me good to have a change of scenery.
Alvinius has opened the double doors to Magnus, and he's starting to usher people in there.
Works for me.
Maybe we should see what he's up to.
Albanius, what's going on?
We need places for people to sleep and recover. I'm gonna put the wounded in here. There's nothing fucking anywhere. All the buildings are empty now.
Yeah.
Um,
We tasked Ak with checking on his underground supplies to see if they might still be intact. I would say that it could be worth checking the storerooms here in the castle.
everything that was in this castle, or everything that was in the barracks, is the same.
Yeah.
We need to. Okay, I'm going to empty the barracks of everything useful, or maybe I'll just requisition the barracks. You know what? Everybody out! We're going to the barracks. He starts like moving people from here to the barracks.
Okay.
I'm turning the barracks into a makeshift hospital and recovery site.
Yeah, that sounds great. We're gonna go see if we're gonna look at the Bard's Cobbler, since that's the biggest tavern restaurant in the city, where the things that maybe were stored underground there might still be intact. We're gonna go to Chuckles's because his place is far enough outside the city that his supplies might still be good. And we'll be back in a few hours.
Have you checked all the rooms in this building?
Meaning the castle?
Yes.
No, that's why I just said maybe the things here underneath the castle, in the storerooms underneath the castle, might be okay.
So you want me to do that?
We
I'll,
can.
I'll do
I
it.
like seeing things with my own eyes. All right.
Whatever you want. Just tell me.
Yeah, if you don't mind checking here at the castle, we will go check some other places that things could be intact, and we'll be back soon,
Okay,
in a few hours.
fine.
Love you. And he gives him a kiss on the cheek.
That doesn't happen. You can say I love you. You can go in for a kiss, but it's going to get real awkward.
All right, I won't do either thing.
You could make like an attack roll for it, I guess. Like a grapple roll.
Kiss roll. Roll for kiss.
So you're going to go to the Bard's Cobbler first.
I'd like to.
All right. If you
Sure, when they
recall,
might have wine there.
Wait,
I
is
do
wine
recall.
organic?
I mean, it doesn't have a cellular structure anymore, I don't think.
okay. So the Bard's Cobbler, if you recall, is this place here. You have a little green on your map. Yeah, that's where. Don't move the thing around. The Bard's Cobbler is almost entirely stone, so it looks pretty intact. The roof is slate. There was a front porch that is now gone. There also was a back porch. Inside, the wooden floors and bar are gone. And most devastatingly, the keg room is empty.
I give Ezra a dirty look, could growl.
What about the scullery?
Nothing on the first floor has anything in it. You go into the basement, and there is. Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but for the basement of the Bard's Cobbler is actually like a 15-foot ceiling. It's an odd construction. And the bottom, yeah, the bottom like 3 to 4 feet, everything is intact, and above that, everything is gone. You're not quite sure why. Zerwin, you can absolutely tell without a roll that this is not the magic stone in this building. All the stone has been scoured above that line. Why? Question mark. You're not sure. That means that a lot of small kegs or kegs that weren't on stands are intact, as are things that were placed on the ground or in smaller containers or crates. So hard cheeses with hard rinds, sacks of flour, yeah, more, many kegs. That's about it.
But it's better than nothing.
Yeah. Oh, that's not true. Sugar, salt, molasses, things of that nature are also here.
Ezra looks intently upon Zerwin. See?
Mm.
Do you want to bring a keg for the road?
I'd like to drink one right here.
Okay.
There's no taps here, Zerwin.
I just take my axe and cut the top off of one.
Okay. And just like dip into the top of it. You'll
Yep.
see. Roll me a d10. Let's see what's in this keg.
It's going to be vinegar.
I don't have my dice out. Because why would I need dice?
You want me to roll a d10?
No, I got it. A 5.
Oh, it's beer.
Guys, this
That's
is beer.
exactly what he wanted.
It's a brown ale. It's delicious.
It sure is.
You're gonna fill your water skins with some brown ale?
No, I'm gonna drink a quarter of the keg right now. I think I've still got two full wineskins. You would need a Constitution check.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see, 15.
That's good enough. You managed not to vomit up any of the beer that the absurd amount of beer that you just chugged. You're very full though, and it's pretty uncomfortable, and you're burping a lot.
Ezra starts to take stock of everything that's in the basement. Like he starts to write it down on some parchment, listing it out.
Okay.
Okay. Should we
Yeah,
go?
I'm
Go
gonna
on.
fill a couple of skins with the beer.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead. I'll do that.
And then everyone feel good about going to check on Chuckles.
Sure.
Sure.
The road, if you remember correctly, it's not, it's a ways. It's a long walk, and it's not a straight road. And once you get out past the edge of the fields, there was the hill, and it'll turn into a valley that led to that stream. And it was all these beautiful old trees, a lot of maple trees, and a lot of beech trees, and they're gone. They're all gone. That might not make any of you sad, but you
As
know it would make
as we're
Chuckles sad.
going, yeah. As we're going, are all of the fields all the way out to Chuckles' place? They're all gone.
Everything's gone. If you look on that map, if you zoom out for everybody, Zerwin, all those patterns are fields. Those are
Yeah.
crop fields. The green patterns are hay fields, and the other darker green is trees, like dense forests. It's all gone. There's nothing.
But like, can we see a tree line somewhere?
Yes. And it's like right where Chuckles' house would be. And it's not like sudden, it's like gradual over maybe 30 or 40 yards. So, there's like charred stumps, and then there's like some half alive trees, and then there's like full live trees. As you get closer, you see that the stream is running normally. The water doesn't seem to have been affected in any way. And on the other side, you can see that pasture land that's on the other side of that stream where there was a lot of livestock is still mostly intact. Intact in the sense of like there are fence posts that you can still see on the far side of that. And there are, in fact, some very confused looking cows with the front half of their pasture just gone. Um, they all do that thing where they see you coming and they form that line of 40 heads to like stare at you. Like, you got problems? You want a problem? Because we can give you a problem. But they don't do anything else. They might move at you. Finally, you get to like the little rise where you would see, and you see that the space where Chuckles' house was is gone, but the guest house is there. It was that close, and there are still some timbers in the back of his house that are upright.
Is there any like smoke coming out of the chimney in the guest house or anything like that?
No.
Ezra runs. When Ezra sees this, he runs to the guest house.
Okay. It's empty.
All right. Ezra yells out, "Chuckles!"
You don't hear anything.
Okay. Ezra turns to Dirk. Do you think that we could start to round up those cows and walk them back to the city?
Better with space goats, but we could try.
Hmm.
I think you're probably better with the animals than I am.
Yeah. No. Do you think we could just use sticks, or do you want me to have conversations with them?
Oh, I desperately want you to talk to the cows. I've never done a
Don't
cow before. Let me get in the right mindset.
don't metagame with me about cow conversations. This is very important. I mean, do they? And they look very herdable.
They are a herd creature.
Yeah, exactly. Is this a wide open space? Are we going to lose them if we try to talk to a cow? Aren't I? You're just not going to let me not talk to a cow.
No, you don't have to talk to cows. The back half of the pasture is intact, so they
I
definitely
didn't
can't
even.
run away from the city. The only way they could run where there's no fence now is towards the city. But in that direction is also sand, which they don't seem super interested in.
Yeah. I mean, I could talk to a cow. I have 40. Well, yeah, this is fine.
Can
All
I
right.
do can I do like a nature check to see if like the stuff that's sand is actually gonna be able to grow stuff? Because if it's just if it's
Seems like a lot of it is going to kind of blow away over time.
It's
yeah, I
already
guess.
blowing away.
Can we like can I take my axe and like bury it into the sand and see how deep the sand is before I get to any sort of organic matter?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
go ahead
about.
and bury the hatchet.
I don't have a hatchet.
It's at its deepest, it's like a half inch. At its shallowest, it's like an eighth of an inch.
And what's under it? Like soil?
Yeah, soil. Sometimes stones.
Right.
There are actually still tree roots intact where you are here. And the sand is like blowing into like dunes in some places and then scoured clean in other places. It's not a strong breeze, it's a light breeze, but it's pushing stuff around a little bit.
Ezra,
All
you
right.
want to use a fireball? Make some glass trinkets?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you think we could make some money off of those? Well, I mean, all the windows are gone in town, right? We'll just fire off some windows right here.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna round up that cattle. We're gonna bring it back to the city.
Yeah.
We're gonna let everybody know that we found some supplies, and there might be other places in the city where things were far enough underground that they're still intact.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna try to help and just in a very reasonable, not weird way, try to get these cows using essentially animal handling.
I mean, are we gonna? People are gonna want to go to their homes. Is there any reason we need to keep them in Castle Magnus for now?
The cows or the people?
People.
Because I kind of want to see the cows. I kind of want to see the new iteration of Castle Magnus is actually just a barn. I gave you guys a castle. What'd you do with it? We turned it into a barn.
No, there were animals in there before. We slept with them.
Yeah, but it wasn't a barn.
Oh, you slept with them.
Yeah, it was a minotaur. That
And
was
you guys
different.
were right there, so
Don't make it weird.
with our eyes squeezed shut and our fingers rammed into our ears.
Don't make it weird, says Jana, 5 minutes too late.
all right, are we gonna round these cows up?
This is what I'm trying to do right now.
Did you do a roll?
It didn't seem like there was an opportune time. This is
Okay.
fine.
Would you like to do one
I
now?
got a 28.
Yeah. So, good roll. They really do not want to walk towards the city. There's about 40 of them, and actually you've discovered there's a pair of goats mixed in, and strangely a llama, question mark. But yeah, they'll go because you rolled a 28, but they don't want to go that direction. It's gonna
How
be a pain
big's
in
the
the
llama?
ass. Oh, it's a full-size llama. I mean, it's not dromedary sized, right? But it's quite, it's a respectable llama.
Okay, well, but they are going, right?
I try to ride the llama.
Hmm.
What do you want, an athletics or an acrobat?
Stop fucking with my animal handling roll.
Yeah, why don't you give me an athletics roll? First of all, the llama 100% spits in you.
27.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good athletics roll. Okay, so again, the most important thing that's going to happen tonight. Zerwin gets that twinkle in his eye, which means that I've had too much beer and I'm going to do something real dumb.
I
And
don't
then
want to walk anymore either.
And so he, like, slowly approaches the llama with his hand out. He's like, "Hey, oh, easy. Hey, it's okay. It's all right." And then the llama spits at him, which is really gross, and like makes a weird noise. And then he's like, "No, it's okay, really." And then he gets up close and he like strokes it once, and the llama's like, "Oh, this isn't so bad actually." Then he jumps on its back really super fast and like latches on, and the thing starts going crazy, like trying to reach back and bite you, and like bucking and like running around in circles.
Can I do an animal handling to try to calm it down?
Yeah, roll a disadvantage because you jumped on its back.
It's fine. I'm not gonna get it anyway. Well, the first roll was an 18. 12.
I mean, you know, it's taking you for a ride, Zerwin. And luckily,
In the correct direction though.
more or less. I mean,
Okay.
you're not going directly towards the city, but yeah, you can practically hear Dirk's teeth grinding as he somehow manages to save you from completely going in the wrong direction.
Just ridiculous.
Guess we can add Llama Rider to those titles.
All right, so as the cows are going back, I cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
And I turn to one of the cows. I'm like, what's the big deal here?
What do you mean, what's the
Right.
big deal here? What's the big deal with you?
That's your cow voice?
That's your stupid man voice?
Yeah, okay. You guys don't want to go back to Castle Magnus with this? You don't want to hang out?
Why would we? There's nothing there to eat. A giant light just came from there and a very bad noise.
Well, yeah, but I didn't
All of
expect
the
you
things
to.
that I like to do are back there.
Well, but you could play cards.
What?
So it's just that you just have a general distaste for the notion of going there. It's not like nothing specific.
Did you not see the giant light? And now
Oh,
everything is sand. I cannot eat sand.
well, I don't think that you've really given sand a chance.
It's caught up in
Okay.
my gums.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Don't worry, we're gonna figure out how to make sure that you're well fed
You could have
back there.
just left us in the pasture where we eat things normally.
We we could have. We could have. We just want to make sure that everybody's
But
safe.
no, it's
Well,
always the same thing with people like you. Walk this way and then walk that way.
well, yeah. That's literally like the only thing that you do is walk directions. So
Sorry, what were
every
we
now
talking
and
about
then,
again?
I was just checking if there was a specific reason, and it turns out it was just the sand thing, which I get totally reasonable.
Who
Okay,
are
cool.
you?
I'm Zach. Zach
Hmm.
Morris. Yeah, just just wanted to check in with you
We
about
heard that,
your
right?
feelings.
Because we hear what he's saying, right?
Yeah, you hear everything he's saying.
I'm drunk, so I'm pretty sure I imagined it.
Hmm. All right.
Cool. Yeah, no, I was just checking in with the cow.
You convince him?
Well, I convinced him earlier, which is part of the reason that I wanted to wait because I didn't want to do a cow interaction with Bill when I had to convince him of something. So I just wanted to do that with animal handling.
He's getting smarter.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now you're herding cows and
Feels
goats
good.
and riding a
You know,
llama.
I might prefer this to everything else
Adventuring.
we've done for the last 15 sessions.
You're all gonna quit and just become farmers?
We also, I don't think we've slept in like a week.
Not
It's been a
much.
while.
Yeah.
I figured we got a long rest when we leveled up. I'm kidding. I didn't actually figure that. Although it would be nice.
I didn't assume that. I'm still hurting.
What time of day is it?
Probably by the time we get back, it's gonna be evening
Oh, yeah. We're gonna be able to go to sleep now.
soon,
Yep.
in theory.
If we are able to fast forward back to us getting back to the castle, Ezra will check in with Alvinius and mention that there are places that are deep enough underground. There are some supplies. The bar's cobbler. He gives the catalog of supplies.
We can't get
Um,
into the library
Why?
okay.
because it's got those stone doors and they're locked.
Is there a normal keyhole on them?
No, and they've never been locked before.
Is anyone in there?
If we can't get in, Ezra, we don't know if there's anyone inside.
He didn't like peek through the keyhole or try to look underneath the door or. All
There is
right.
a
Anyway,
well. There's a well in the castle. There's
yeah.
also a bunch of food stores.
Okay. There's also some in the basement of the Bard's Cobbler if we need more. There's flour and molasses, salt,
Let's go look at
wine,
the
beer.
stores.
You guys want to go to the library?
I hate the fucking library, but
Hey,
I'm
let's before we do that, just in case, let's take a short rest. How long is a short rest?
Isn't it an hour?
Can we? Does everyone agree that we deserve a short rest?
Sure.
All right, we're gonna take a
Yeah.
short rest.
So you get back to Castle Magnus and just plopped on the floor
Yeah, we.
and do this for an hour. Oh God! Does that sound right?
Close, yeah.
Okay.
I healed 51 HP by resting 1 hour. This game makes a lot of sense.
Wait, the short rest gave you 50 hit points?
51.
That's amazing.
And it also gave me 5 sorcery points back. That's what I really wanted. All right. That hour flew by. Time flies when you're having fun or napping. Let's go check on that there library. How does that sound, everyone?
Yes.
No one's arguing.
Never argue with you.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
All right. The library door has, in fact, the same key mechanism that the box has.
Ezra motions to Gelidus, figuring that the key has ended up in his pockets at this point.
It's still on your hand.
Oh. Funny. All right, Ezra opens the door.
The library inside is unchanged. It is still stacked full of furniture and chock full of books.
You shit me. The only thing in this fucking town that didn't get destroyed were the books.
There's a lot of furniture in here too. And also well, yeah, never mind.
What's that
There-
big window look like?
What's what?
The big like window over
This-
by where the plants were.
The stained glass window?
Yeah, the one that had like what looked like an altar or something on it.
Yeah, it hasn't changed.
Zerwin, if you ever die, I'm gonna have you reincarnated as a wizard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nothing else seems strange or funny about the library?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess you haven't done a thorough investigation, but at first glance, it looks untouched. It looks exactly the same as last time you were in here.
You guys want to do a thorough investigation and see if anything looks different?
Well,
I do.
what about Can I go? Can I look in the hole where what's his
There it
name
is.
died?
Yeah, so remember, like, when you pried out, oh God,
Grum or Grom or something.
Ezra looks bewildered by Zerwin asking if he can look in the hole. What are you
Mungrun,
talking about?
yeah,
Monk's friend.
yeah. So the giant mechanoid thing is still behind the wardrobe. You guys pried it out and you left it there.
How's he
When you
look?
first walked in, you couldn't see him and nobody could see him. So Zerman leads you around by the stacks. And sort of around one of the corners, you see Grob. That was his name, Grob. And he looks exactly the same. He's inanimate. There's no spark of life, and he's weirdly coated in butter? Question mark.
Zerwin, is that your doing?
I say no as I scrape some butter off and put it in my pocket.
Excellent work.
Um,
Has anyone seen Mungrin?
they brought Mungren and Booker into the barracks.
But post
You haven't seen him post, no.
Big Bang.
Also, on the other side of Grob is an open hatched door.
Oh, is this the hole, Zerwin?
It's a hole.
Watch your mouth.
So we're done with phrasing, is what you're saying.
Yeah, this is the one. I jumped down in there.
Okay.
I have dark vision.
Well, there's a ladder, but yeah, you could just jump, I suppose. You might take some fall damage. You better make me a dex check to see if you take any fall damage or not.
Hold on, I think I have a trait about fall damage.
Oh,
But
really?
I will. Yeah, I think so. But I'll do a dex check anyway. 21.
All right, you and your dex checks today.
Yeah, I'm having good rolls.
Okay. You land nimbly on your feet, and you realize that there's a whole other level of the library down here.
Oh God, is it more books?
There, it's not books, no, but
Okay.
it's pillars that hold up the floor above you, made of the same stone, and a wall made of the same stone.
Of like
And
the magical stone or the same stone? Yeah, the magical stone. Okay.
yeah, the pillars are all, yeah, in between. The pillars are all carved and inscribed in a language that, not that Zerwin has a great command of language in general, but this is a language that you definitely don't recognize. And then there are everywhere boxes and crates and chests, just gobs of them, hundreds.
Gob's dead upstairs.
It's Grob.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. Uh,
He's probably just turned off, not dead.
no, the way Mungren was acting, I'm pretty sure he's dead. Can I go to the nearest crate and pry the top off?
Sure.
Zerwin, what's down there? Is it more books?
No, thank God. You would have heard me vomiting. No, there's lots of crates and a lot of the magical stone. Some chests.
Yeah, I'm good.
So do you want to pry the lid off a crate or a chest?
Crate.
Okay.
Who keeps beer in chests?
No one worth their salt.
I
Speaking of
mean,
which,
you do. When you drink it, it goes into your chest and then, down into your abdomen, right?
I hope there's full bottles in here. I'm going to throw one up the hatch at him.
actually, this crate is full of lumber.
How big is this crate?
12 feet.
Oh,
By?
4. And
Whoa.
guys, there's a bunch of lumber in this first crate I opened, and there are lots of crates. This seems like a stupid place to store lumber.
It's seeming like maybe Vinith knew what was going to happen when he activated the altar, and that he was prepared to, with everything that the city would need to resupply and survive.
Oh, can I open one of the
Rebuild.
chests too?
yep.
Filled with wine.
The first chest that you open is actually has a wax seal around it. So the chest itself isn't difficult, but when you pop it, air gets in for the first time since it was sealed. It's actually full of seeds.
Bunch of seeds down here too.
Well, that's going to be helpful. We
All
need
right,
those.
I'm coming. I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do with these. I climb out.
All right. Ezra will go. Hearing that there's all these different kinds of supplies down there, Ezra will go try to find Alvinius again.
Okay.
And give him the good
Alvinius is easy
news.
to find. He's got Glocta up on one of the walls, and Alvinius is just directing. That's what he's doing.
Thanks for
I
pointing
say,
out.
hey, Glocta.
Glocta's up on the wall. You want to climb up the wall and talk to Glocta?
I just want to yell at him. from where I am.
Oh yeah, he turns.
Or are you not talking anymore?
He turns away again.
Oh. Okay. Go ahead, Ezra.
Thanks for pointing out the library. We got in. There's a huge warehouse space underneath the library, and there's all kinds of supplies there. It seems like Vinith knew that the whole city might need to rebuild. There's seeds, there's lumber, there's probably more food, and other building supplies,
Where
probably
is
tools down
Venice?
there. He's probably dead.
Well, then we got to figure out who owns all of this stuff.
Funny
So
story on that. He left it to us.
a look of real
This
surprise crosses Alvinius's face,
the
and
six of
then
us.
I throw my
then
arm around Gelidus.
and then his face kind of like slowly lights up. You all, the new lords of Magnus.
I
Well,
mean, I don't love it when you say it that way.
oh, this is fucking great.
Can we call it temporary stewards of Drunel Hall? Can we call it that?
Oh gosh. No, absolutely not. No, no, no. No, I'm gonna make this as big a deal as I possibly can. Um, yeah, no, that's fucking great. Hey everybody, this is the new Lords of Drunel Hall. Just turns and yells and points at you all. There's a smattering of applause.
At least Zerwin is pleased.
I don't know why it's a bad. I'm confused.
You're still muted, Galdis.
So I am. I say, don't we have to go back to the Radiant Citadel? Like, we can't stay here.
Well,
Terrible idea.
we were probably gonna go in. Well, listen, there's a
We still have to solve this war, don't
yeah. We got to stop a war. Then we have to go rescue my family. Then we have to go back to the Radiant Citadel.
Well, I
But there's
wasn't skipping over your family.
probably some twists and hijinks to be had
Owen wants to see that
amongst those.
tall woman that went with Skip too.
Wendy?
Before we leave, Wendy. Is that her name?
Was there
I
a
don't know.
Wendy? I don't remember that.
I think we should try to. We were working really hard to get him to hook up with Yurtha. I think that's still possible.
With
Which piece of her? No, the Tiberius's protector.
We should find a steward.
No,
for
that's
the
correct,
castle.
Zerwin.
Yeah, is there anyone named Denethor around that we could like pawn things off on?
I'm gonna take away danger awesome points.
Yeah, but if I mean I want to deserve it if you're gonna do that.
We should maybe we should kind of have a little hootenanny with some of the folks, some of the main players here, Ezra.
Yeah, let's
Let's get Fly, let's get Alvinius and Glocta, let's get well, everybody else is dead. Let's get those guys. It'd be nice if we could find Chuckles.
Speaking of which, no, all right,
Speaking of which, I can still make this face.
yeah, yeah. No, I don't. I have a feeling he didn't make it out, guys, because he was outside of the city walls fighting the nightmare on his own.
Actually, you know who'd be nice to see is Bundo. But he's probably up there managing the war.
The old Sitz Pickler.
All right, yeah. Hey, Alvinius, is Fly around? Where's Fly? Fly?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Fly in a few minutes. He went into the kitchens a little while ago.
What about Ak? Is Ak around? Just
Ock
really
disappeared.
okay. I just really want to give him the good news about him not having a monopoly on things. All right, yeah, let's go find Fly and make sure he's well supplied and can cook Ezra up a nice wine sandwich.
I need everyone to make me perception checks.
24.
18.
11.
18.
22.
Jana, Ezra, Gelidus, Zerwin, you all hear something in the far distance. Sounds like it's coming from the west. Sounds like it's maybe horns? Question mark.
Like dragon horns.
You have a strong desire to get up on the battlements and look west.
Yeah.
Guys, we're gonna have to sign this goddamn contract pretty quick, aren't we?
I thought
What
we
does it
should have
sound?
done it.
What does it sound like?
Sorry, I
We
need to
hear
do that
what?
in universe. Guys, we're gonna have to sign this god's damned contract really quick, aren't we?
Yeah. Quick.
You climb up on the battlements, and remember there's kind of like a long straight hill that goes west that the road comes down off of. Hold on, I can pull it up in Alabama Rodeo. So that one, can you see that in the corner of the map there, on the side of the map? Yep, that one that comes off.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that goes up a hill, and at the top of that hill is a pass that go like through it's not fully mountains, it's just foothill mountains to the mountains that are north, and that road goes through like a low place, and coming up over the crest a couple of miles away, you see the first outriders of an army. You're not
Do
sure
they
what
look
army yet, but they are definitely blowing horns, waving flags, and marching in formation, and they're definitely coming straight at Juneau Hall. And that's where we'll end tonight, on the precipice of an army coming at you. Here are some things that I want you to think about over the next couple of weeks. First and foremost, you now own a castle. The interior of which I leave up to you to design. If you feel so inclined and you want to make some interior castle designs, some rooms, think about it as a blank slate. Do whatever you want with the inside of it. But we're gonna have you haven't got everything yet, all the resources that you could have discovered in this session you didn't discover yet. So you have some more stuff to discover. But you're gonna be able to invest resources and get advantages or bonuses through this castle in the long run. So think about it like it's possible that maybe one of the things you do is hire a bunch of librarians. And then when you want to hire a bunch of librarians, and then when you want to do a bunch of research, instead of saying, I need to go do research, you can be like, I'm going to ask my research team to look this up for me and see what they can come up with, right? Or maybe you want to hire a blacksmith to make armor, or whatever. There's a lot of possibilities here. Also, the outer curtain walls of the city are still up. But remember that Castle Alias is just a giant wreckage right now.
Including the walls.
Yeah, it's just all one massive pile of rubble over there. The Colosseum is still up. You haven't investigated that either.
Down here.
Yeah, the place where you competed. Yep, that's the place. Yeah. Also, the other thing that you can start thinking about is You now also have responsibilities in terms of the people and to take care of the people of this town. How much you want to engage in that is up to you, but it will have in-game consequences. Good like bonuses or negatives if you decide fuck all of you people, you can starve. Which it doesn't sound like you're doing. I'm not saying that. But people are going to be looking to you to help them. And just out of game, I'll also say you can absolutely find a caretaker for this castle while you go about your adventures. You are not tied here forever, unable to leave. You
That was
might,
Gelatus' nightmare.
yeah, no. That doesn't bode like I can't run a campaign of just you all managing this castle for the rest of the campaign. That sucks. But choosing whom you want to take care of this place while you are gone is a big and important decision, and I suggest you do not make it lightly. And the one other metagaming thing I will do is please go back and look in that chest at the rest of the fucking books and papers that are in there, which would have told you things like there is a basement below the library that is full of all the things that you need to rebuild. And also, here are the legalities of your current situation and what you might be able to do to help out. That's all. Thank you very much. You know what, though? You should all give each other Danger Awesome points. And I'm going to start the new system tonight for prizes, which is everybody who contributed to chat gets their name written down and gets to earn 1 point to spend on prizes in the future. So I'm going to do that while you guys give each other Danger Awesome points.
Give mine to Dirk for somehow getting the cows and llamas to follow us, even though I rode one of them.
Give mine to Ezra for tracking things.
Mine goes to Ezra as well for driving this clown car.
Oh man, I'm torn between Zerwin and Dirk.
I'll give mine to Dirk if you want to give yours to Zerwin.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
How would you do that?
But you were brave enough to talk to cows with Bill playing a cow.
Yeah, that voice. I did not expect that. It was an interesting
I
part
mean,
of my day.
I did live on a farm for a couple of years, several years that were pretty formative to me.
And
Um,
that was what you imagined cows sounded like.
I mean,
Yeah, but not like a real farm like mine.
yeah, when I was a kid, that's exactly what because they're like, they're these like cows are basically these giant old women who have lots of kids and who aren't real bright and who forget shit all the time, but are like, I don't know, they're terrifying when you're little. Like if a cow steps on you, it's like 1,000 pounds, it just crushes you. Anyway, they're kind of crazy, those cows. All right. Who from the crowd would like to vote on Danger Awesome Point for anybody? Which of our players did you think tonight was the most dangerous and or awesome? Please say so in chat. Whoever jumped on the llama right now. Oh yeah, resident old lady, you know cows. You can tell me what you think of my cow impression. Younger cows are like giant dogs. It's kind of true. It's kind of terrifying.
Tell you, my character sheet is not going to be helpful running a castle.
Uh, all right, only one person voted, I guess. Right? Anybody else want to vote for who should get the Danger Awesome Point?
Resident Old Lady needs a recap of your impression of a cow.
Sorry, you'll have to go back and watch it on YouTube. Or get Dirk to speak to cows again, which is both work for me. All right, Zerwin, give yourself another Danger Awesome Point from the crowd today.
Well, thank you, crowd.
And next week we'll pick back up at our regular schedule. Oh wait, here's more. Zerwin for being organic, Dirk for cow speaking, but it's still more points for Zerwin. All right, have a good night, all.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.